Hey there guys, so this is going to be the third lesson for our Unit 6 module, Multiplying Polynomials Day 2. So what we're going to do today is going to be very similar to what we did last class, Multiplying Polynomials Day 1, except instead of multiplying a binomial by a binomial, we're going to multiply a binomial by a trinomial. And you'll see what I mean more in class. But first things first, let's get into the part 1 of the notes, which is the Edpuzzle. Hopefully you're watching this before coming to the live class, not afterwards, or watching this before watching the part 2 notes. So first things first, let's review the skills we learned last class because we're going to use them again this class. So assuming that a and b are constants, that is variables or numbers without variables, for example 3, 5, -2, -15. When we multiply different terms together, we're going to multiply number by number and variable by variable. So in this case, if this was a number and this was a number, we'd multiply those two numbers together, variable by variable. Since we only have one variable, we just keep the variable, it's not multiplied by anything. Now another super important thing is to remember that x times x is always going to give you x squared. Now in this case, if we multiply ax times bx, well, number by number, so a times b, and x times x, which we know is x squared. So here's an example. 3x times 5x equals 15x squared. So you're going to do number by number, so 3 times 5 is 15, variable by variable, it's going to give you x squared. So now you try, what is 3x times 4x? Well, same thing, we're going to do number times number, so 3 times 4, and variable by variable, which we know is x squared. So this should give us 12x squared, because 3 times 4 is 12, x times x is x squared. So here's another example. 6x times 3, well, we're going to do number by number, so 6 times 3, and variable by variable, which should give us 18x squared. 6 times 3 is 18, x times x is x squared. Now the new skill we're going to learn this lesson is this one, which is x squared times x. So previously we learned that x times x is x squared. Well, in this case, if you start with an x squared and multiply it by an x, you're going to get something we call x cubed. So similarly, when we have an x to the power of 2, we call it x squared. If we have an x to the power of 3, we're going to call it x cubed. So here's some examples. 3x times x squared. So same idea, number by number. Since we only have one number, we're going to keep that same number. Variable by variable, x times x squared. Well, we just said it's x cubed. So this is 3x cubed. Same thing here, number by number, 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x is x cubed. So now you try, what is 2x times 3x squared? Well, we're going to do number by number and variable by variable. That should give us 6x cubed. 2 times 3 is 6, x times x squared is x cubed. So now here, we're going to do the same thing, number by number, variable by variable. So 7 times, oh well, there's nothing here, so I know I'm going to keep the 7. X squared times x is going to give me 7x cubed. Once again, if we only have one number, we keep that number. We still multiply my variables. X squared times x is x cubed. Finally, we're going to review what we did last class, which was the box method. So given two binomials, which as a reminder are two-termed expressions, what we're going to do is outside my box, I'm going to write each binomial. So here's my 2x plus 4 that I indicated in pink. And here's my 3x minus 5 that I indicated in blue. So once you fill out the outside of my box, now I'm going to fill in the inside of my box by multiplying each number outside each given square. So 2x times 3x, well, number times number is going to give me 6. X times x is x squared. That's going to give me 6x squared. Similarly here, 3x times 4 is going to give me 12x. Negative 5 times 2x is going to give me negative 10x. And negative 5 times 4 is going to give me negative 20. Now my next step is to combine like terms. So once you filled in your box, you can combine like terms. When we're combining like terms, we're no longer multiplying, we're adding or subtracting. So we're going to do 12x minus 10x, which would be, my bad, this should be positive 12x. So let me fix that really quick. Positive 2x. So now that I combine my like term, I can simplify it. So since there's no other x squared value, I'm going to keep it the same. It's going to be 6x squared. Like I said, this should be a positive 2x, so this should be plus 2x. No other constant, so I'm going to give the minus 20. So it should be 6x squared plus 2x. Once again, this is an error on my part, minus 20. So this is how we do the box method. Once again, we're going to do a similar box method, except this time, instead of doing binomial by binomial, we're going to do a binomial by a trinomial, a three-term expression. So instead of doing a 2x2 box, we're going to do a 2x3 box. But we'll see more examples during class. So this is the end of the Edpuzzle. So practice those skills that we practiced earlier. Make sure you know them because we're going to use them a lot this class, and it makes the lesson much easier if you know how to do those skills. So this is the end of the lesson. The code word for today is T, the T-E-A-T. So thank you. I will see you guys during the live class. Don't forget to sign into your prayer deck, by the way, before coming to class.